everyone. Welcome back. I found some more stories to read to you today. So, if you have a reading buddy that you want to grab and cuddle up to while you listen, I've got mine here. The first book that I found to read is some of my favorite Bible stories. And these are about some important children that God used in a powerful way, and I hope you enjoy these stories. This is Jacob. He stayed in a land called Haran for years and years. He married and had 12 sons and became even richer than his father. One of his sons was called Joseph. And Jacob loved him best of all. He gave Joseph a very special coat when he was quite young, which plainly showed he was his father's favorite. His older brothers worked very hard herding sheep for their father. It hurt their feelings to see their little brothers so favored above themselves. Besides, Joseph was a tattletale. He often carried stories about them to his father. So the older brothers came to hate Joseph when he told them about the dreams he had, in which they all bowed down to him. They hated him still more. One day, when they were herding sheep far off from home, they decided to put an end to this boy's tales and dreams. They stripped off his wonderful coat and put him down in a deep well, intending to leave him there. Then they saw a camel train passing that way, and it gave one of the brothers a better idea. Why don't we sell Joseph to one of those merchants? Then we need not leave him to die down in the well. So it was arranged. Joseph was hauled up out of the well and sold to the merchants to be a slave in Egypt. His master was Potiphar, commander of the king's guard. Joseph served him well, and Potiphar was pleased with him. However, Potiphar's wife hated Joseph. Although he now lived in Egypt, he still remembered the God of his own people. Potiphar's wife tried to make him change his ways. When he said no, she had Joseph put in jail. Joseph was in the prison a long time. He made friends and was put in charge of the other prisoners by the chief jailer. Even there, Joseph kept to the ways of his God and his people. While he was there, he made a discovery. He found he could tell the meaning of dreams. He became well known for it. Even the king, the Pharaoh, came to hear of this prisoner who could interpret and tell the meaning of dreams. So, when Pharaoh had some strange dreams himself about some very thin cows and some very fat cows, he sent for Joseph. The young prisoner saw the meaning of the dreams at once. there would be 7 years of good harvests, he told Pharaoh, and then 7 years of famine without food. He told Pharaoh to store all the extra food gathered in during the years of plenty. Well, Pharaoh saw that Joseph was clever and wise, and he made him governor over Egypt to be in charge of the stores for the whole country. When the famine came, people traveled for miles away to buy food. Among them were Joseph's brothers. They had come many miles to buy food. When they were brought into the presence of the governor of Egypt, they didn't think at all that he might be their brother. Joseph did not tell them. He asked them instead to bring their youngest brother, Benjamin, to Egypt. Well, they thought this was very strange, but they did as he asked. Then later, Joseph told them who he was and how glad he was to see them all again. They were ashamed and sorry for what they had done to him, but Joseph forgave them. Then Pharaoh invited Jacob to come to Egypt, offering him good land where he might settle with his family. Joseph came with all his people. They were happy and thankful to be with his beloved son, Joseph. He thought he had been dead for so long. Now we're going to skip over a couple of pages and we're going to read about another boy. This boy's name is Samuel, the boy in the temple. There was once a woman who longed to have a child of her own. She often prayed about this in the temple, and God heard her prayers. At last she gave birth to a baby boy, and she called him Samuel. When Samuel was old enough, his mother and father took him to the temple with costly gifts to thank God for their child. Now he was going to serve in the temple and be taught by Eli, the high priest. There was a lot to learn, but Samuel worked hard and became a great help to Eli. As he went on learning, he grew, and sometimes his mother brought him a new coat or a tunic. One night, the boy heard someone calling. He ran to Eli, but the old priest said no, it wasn't him who called. God called. So when the call came again, Samuel listened carefully. He learned from God that Eli and his family would soon leave the temple. God had chosen Samuel to be the next high priest. Okay, well, we're going to put this little book away for a little while and read some other stories. And I am going to grab my shawl because it is a very chilly and rainy day, and I want to be so warm, and I hope you are too. This book is called The Last Stop on Market Street by Matt de la Peña. Pictures by Christian Robinson. Maybe we'll turn the light on. It just keeps getting darker and darker. There's just a lot of rain, and it's going to rain all day today. So it's a good day for reading. Last stop on Market Street. Here's a picture even before the story starts. So it's a picture of a city. CJ pushed through the church doors and he skipped down the steps. The outside air smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt, and the rain dripped down his nose. He ducked under his Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we gotta wait for the bus in all this wet?" "Trees get thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see that big tree drinking through a straw?" CJ looked a long time, but he didn't see a straw. From the bus stop, he watched water pool on the flower petals. He watched the rain patter against the windshield of a nearby car. His friend Colby climbed in, and he gave CJ a wave, and he drove off with his dad. "Nana, how come we don't got a car?" he said. "Boy, what do we need a car for? We got a bus that breathes fire, and old Mr. Dennis, who always has a trick for you." The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the doors swung open. "What's that I see?" Mr. Dennis said. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear, and he placed it in his palm. Nana laughed her deep laugh and pushed CJ along. They sat right up front. The man across from them was holding a guitar. An old woman with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a big smile and a good afternoon. She made sure that CJ did the same. The bus lurched forward and stopped, lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knit. "How come we always gotta go here after church?" CJ said. "Miguel and Colby never have to go nowhere." "I feel sorry for those boys," Nana told him. "They'll never get a chance to meet Bobo or the Sunglass Man. And I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat." CJ just stared out the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip by on either side, and he watched a group of boys hop the curbs on their bikes. A man came aboard with a spotted dog. CJ gave him his seat. "How come that man can't see?" "Boy, what do you know about seeing?" Nana told him. "Some people watch the world with their ears." "That's a fact, and their noses too," the man said, sniffing at the air. "That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, ma'am." Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. Two older boys got on next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in back. Sure wish I had one of those, he said. Nana set down her knitting. What for? You got the real live thing sitting across from you. Why don't you ask the man if he'll play us a song? CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking the strings and he was beginning to sing. To feel the magic of music, the blind man whispered, I like to close my eyes. So Nana closed her eyes too. And so did CJ and the spotted dog. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus, out of the busy city. He saw sunset colors swirling over the crashing waves. He saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky. He saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of magic. The song ended and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in the back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm, and CJ dropped it in the man's hat to say thank you for the music. Last stop on Market Street, Mr. Dennis called out. CJ looked around as he got off the bus. Crumbling sidewalks and broken down doors, graffiti-tagged windows and boarded up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. How come it's always so dirty over here? She smiled and she pointed at the sky. Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful. CJ saw the perfect rainbow arching over the soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful where he never even thought to look. He looked all around them again. At the bus, rounding the corner out of sight, and the broken street lamps still lit up bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. When he spotted their familiar faces in the window, he said, I'm so glad we came. He thought his Nana might laugh her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, I'm glad too, CJ. Now, come on. And there they went to the soup kitchen. What a great story. So after church, they went to the soup kitchen where the people that don't have nice homes, and most of them don't have cars, and some of them don't even have food at their home, they can come to the soup kitchen. And people like CJ and his Nana were there to help them and talk to them and become friends with them. That's one of my favorite stories. I hope you enjoyed it too. Okay, I'll be back soon, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, And stay dry if it's raining where you are. Bye bye.